From News Channel 8, this is Federal News Tonight.
Now it's time to close the deal.
The president takes his message on health care directly to Capitol Hill. What will we hear in his congressional address? Then, State Department officials still reeling after lewd pictures surfaced from the U.S. Embassy in Kabul. Tonight, big changes underway, we'll tell you. And what's the White House message for workers this Labor Day? We go one-on-one with Secretary Solis. Thanks for joining us for Federal News Tonight. I'm Beverly Kirk. Meanwhile, there are some big changes at the U.S. Embassy in Kabul tonight after some disturbing photos were released that show guards abusively hazing other guards. Defense Secretary Robert Gates says the U.S. position in Afghanistan is strong and will continue. At the Pentagon today, Gates said he disagrees with people who say it's time to leave Afghanistan. Gates said President Obama's strategy for the war there hasn't been given time yet to work. Meanwhile, the Pentagon is speeding up delivery of the largest non-nuclear bomb in the U.S. arsenal. The 15-ton behemoth is called the Massive Ordnance Penetrator. It will carry 5,300 pounds of explosives, making it 10 times more powerful than the weapons it's replacing. Today, I asked President Obama's Labor Secretary, Hilda Solis, about the White House efforts to get people back to work. We also talked about the Labor Day holiday that's just around the corner. Madam Secretary, thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
First and foremost, let's talk about Labor Day, the holiday itself. What's your message? What's the administration's message for workers this year?
Well, I think our theme this year, and of course this is my first Labor Day that I actually get to, participate actively as a Labor Secretary, to really promote good, secure, and safe jobs, and to also let those dislocated workers know that the Department of Labor wants to continue to expand our services to reach them.
Manufacturing numbers, there are some who are worried that the uptick was caused in August because of cash for clunkers that helped the auto industry. Their inventory was lowered because people bought so many cars, but now that that's over, there are some who are concerned that the uptick might just be temporary as manufacturing gears up just to replenish the supplies that were purchased. How concerned are you that this might be a jobless recovery, as some economists have said that is a possibility? Are the green jobs the answer? There are some who say that the jobs that will be created in terms of being more environmentally friendly won't be enough to offset the number of other manufacturing jobs that have been lost. How do you account for that?
Well, I think that we have seen a great loss in manufacturing and in construction right now, and we may see some upswing, as I say, in construction because of the infrastructure projects that are going to be coming out, our collaboration with the different states and local governments. So there will be job creation there.
Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid has scheduled a test vote of sorts for Monday on health care reform or health care overhaul. I guess it's a last shot at bipartisanship, getting more than the one senator from Maine, or is this just a shot in the dark that's not going to really be helpful?
There's no time limit on bipartisanship, but he's still working on at least two other senators, we hear. George Voinovich, retiring from Ohio, a Republican, and Susan Collins, also a moderate Republican from Maine. But chances are he's got Olympia Snow. That at least gives them the veneer of bipartisanship.
Olympia Snow for the vote she cast this week, not necessarily for any future votes, as she made perfectly clear.
Yes, absolutely. Listen, those who are fiscally hawkish are out there. They're out and about. And the Tea Party crowd, as a matter of fact, which are the grassroots organization of Americans, are running around the country quicker than Grant ran through Richmond. They are determined that certain aspects that the Obama administration wants, including health care, won't drive up the deficit any further than what it is.
Here on Federal News Tonight, the White House declares war on one national TV network. Will this strategy work? Yes, this is my favorite story of the week. My favorite story of the week, just because there's so much to chat about, and it's an interesting strategy. I always thought in Washington the premise was you keep your friends close, your enemies closer.
Absolutely. Not only that, but we need to correct President Obama. Fox is more than a channel. It is a network. It has lots of channels. Listen, if he disagrees with what they're saying, what they're questioning his administration about, or any of that matter, then the best thing to do is to talk to them.
Let me play devil's advocate for a moment, because you have someone like a Glenn Beck calling the President of the United States a racist who has an issue with white culture and white people when the President himself is half white.
Right.
It's a fact that gets dismissed and kind of plastered over, but it is a fact. He was raised by his white mother and his two white grandparents. I think there is a way
that
you can.
News. That's his opinion.
Right, but it's coming on a news network.
And it's coming on the news, and opinions come on all manner of news networks.
True.
So though I appreciate what you're saying, but look at this. We were talking about the other news story this week, the little boy in the balloon out in Colorado. What did we all say when Shepard Smith on Fox News said, hello, where are their parents? Where are the children's parents?
I was asking the same thing.
Exactly.
Tomorrow, the Labor Department releases the nationwide unemployment numbers for August, and economists will be watching to see if the rate ticks up closer to 10%. Labor Secretary Hilda Solis says she's optimistic that the economic recovery plan passed earlier this year is working to help save and create jobs, although it may still take some time for the job market to completely recover.
There are some good flickers that I see out there, but I'm not happy with that high unemployment rate, and we cannot lose sight of that.
Labor Secretary Hilda Solis is optimistic about the potential for job growth in spite of the large number of job losses this year, particularly in the manufacturing sector.
I try not to look just at the numbers. I try to look at real people, families, and hoping that we can restore some faith and trust and confidence.
She says the key is to focus on projects rolling out thanks to the stimulus package, including the recent Cash for Clunkers program. And she says more efforts to stimulate the economy are on the way in the form of grants to train workers for green jobs.
$500 million. So we know we're going to be employing teachers at community colleges. We're going to see students being able to benefit, adult dislocated workers, that people will actually be getting into these kinds of training programs, and some may even offer pay at that time.
However, the Secretary is realistic about the time it'll take to build up green industries.
We're not looking necessarily at a quick fix. This is an investment that's going to carry us out for the next decade to be prepared so we really restore the foundation of our economy.
Secretary Solis says the Labor Department also has specific programs all around the country to help unemployed workers train for new jobs. And for details, go to dol.gov.